Hello folks, I have held fire on making this video for a few days for a number of reasons. Partly because it fits nicely into the schedule if it comes out at 9 o'clock on a Friday. Partly because I've been really struggling with making up my mind about what I wanted to do, about how I felt about certain aspects of this. Partly because I have consumed so many videos from respected members of the YouTube community over the last few days to take their views on board on it. And I don't know, partly because I'm still not even sure I'm making the right decision. But in this video, I'm going to explain why I'm moving the live streams back to Twitch. And I know, for some of you, this is not a big deal. It not worth having a video. And for others, it'll perhaps just be seen as, okay, at least this is a notification. I know where to go and hang out on Sunday night. He's going to be over on Twitch rather than here on YouTube. But that's all fine. That's all good. But I know there are going to be some people who are going to be disappointed. There's going to be a few things that people are worried about, possibly. There might be a few people who don't get to watch the streams anymore for whatever reason, because they don't like to use Twitch, or Twitch doesn't run properly on the device that they're using, or various other things. So firstly, and as early in the video as I've remembered to talk about it, the video on demand replays that take probably half of the live stream views at the moment, they're still going to be a thing. As soon as I'm finished streaming on Twitch, I'm going to export the whole stream over here onto YouTube. They're going to go into the same playlist that the live stream videos are in at the moment. The thumbnail design will be exactly the same. So if you are currently watching the live streams on replay, you shouldn't notice any changes. They're still going to be here on YouTube on this channel. It's just they're going to have been exported from Twitch rather than being saved from an original YouTube live stream. So the reasons behind the decision. Now, I know there's probably going to be some of you who just don't kind of get stuck into the whole YouTube shenanigans. You don't make content yourself. You perhaps don't get involved on Twitter, and this might come as a bit of a bolt out of the blue. Whoa, Kev, you made such a big deal about leaving Twitch back in September, October time, coming over to YouTube. You had all these really good reasons, and YouTube streaming has gone really well for you. What's all this about? And the thing that got my thought process started on this was the changes to YouTube earlier in the week. Now, again, that's another thing I deliberately have held fire on making a video about. If you watch my vlogs, you would have seen me have a little bit of a rant about it. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen a few of my thoughts about it. But largely, on the whole, I'm pretty much in support of the changes that have happened on YouTube this week, with one exception to it. And that is the fact that people who are currently monetized are being demonetized through this process. I'm absolutely on board with them making the threshold for becoming a member of the partner program, for becoming a monetized channel. I'm all for that being at a higher level. It keeps the bad actors, which is a phrase that YouTube keep using. It keeps them from monetizing their content. It means it's less likely that there's going to be advertising alongside extremist videos, that kind of thing, which is going to make it, hopefully, easier for the rest of us to continue to be paid for what we do, because the advertisers should, in theory, be less likely to pull out. And if it means that a few of us get a few less videos demonetized along the way as well, then that's all good too. And I'm obviously not going to complain about that. I'm going to be on board with all of that. And if you are a newer YouTuber or a smaller YouTuber, and in the grand scheme of things, I'm still a very, very small YouTuber, but if you are just sort of working towards that 10,000 view threshold at the moment, hopefully you've got the right mindset and you're not that bothered. Because certainly when I was first starting out and had less than 10,000 views, monetization was the last thing on my mind. I don't think I certainly didn't see a penny out of YouTube until I was way beyond the new threshold, because AdSense doesn't pay out unless you have over $100 of revenue generated anyway. And I'd have to go back and study the numbers properly, but I'm certain that I had well over 1,000 subscribers and well over the 4,000 hours of watch time before I earned a single penny out of YouTube. So on that side of things, I don't know that very much has actually changed, but it set off some alarm bells when it was announced that people who've previously been monetized for being over 10,000 views are actually being withdrawn from the partner program and will have to hit the new criteria to come in, because the big alarm bell that went off was, okay, if they can move the goalposts now, and they've moved them twice in the last year. They only brought the 10,000 thing in the last year. They've now brought this thing in and made it that little bit harder again. It's not outside the realms of possibility that if they continue to have this adpocalypse stuff going on, that they might move the goalposts again, and move the goalposts again, and move the goalposts again, until they find that sweet spot where advertisers are happy. And ultimately, they are a business. They need to find the sweet spot where advertisers are happy. And if this doesn't get that job done, they're going to have to review it again, probably at some point in the next year. And like I said before, I am still a small YouTuber in the grand scheme of things. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would annoy me. It would upset me. It would force me to have to go back and get a real job again. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if in 2 years' time, YouTube didn't pay a penny for anyone with less than 100,000 subscribers, for example. Because they might decide to go down the route of it just being for professionals. You have to be pro, you have to have a large audience, otherwise it can just be a hobby. That's what it was supposed to be originally. This whole monetization thing has existed for less than half of the existence of YouTube. For the first half of YouTube existing, people didn't make any money on it. It was just something for enthusiasts and for hobbyists and for people who loved it, and the site did fine. They could go back to that and still monetize for the top channels who do it as a job, who do it as a profession. And the people who are smaller, who are just doing it for a bit of fun, can carry on doing it for a bit of fun, and nothing massive would need to change. It would be a disaster for me, because obviously I managed to scratch together a full-time income to support my family from a combination of YouTube and Patreon and donations on stream and revenue from writing a book previously and merchandise sales. YouTube ad revenue comes nowhere near to supporting my family, but the combination of everything all together means I'm still not earning as much money as I was when I was a teacher, but we're not far off. We can survive, we can get by. But I wouldn't be able to do what I wouldn't be able to if YouTube pulled the rug out from under us. And that alarms me, the fact that they could do that at any time. And from a neutral business point of view, I could completely understand why they were doing it. And I would struggle to have an argument against it other than, but it hurts me. And that would be pretty much all I'd have to say about it, because there aren't many reasons not to if you're YouTube, because they don't make much money out of me. I imagine a channel the size of mine, they're maybe breaking even on. If they're taking half of the ad revenue that I make, if you balance that against the hosting costs of the channel and the hassle of having to go through and have a person review the videos to decide if they're family friendly or not, and all the other bits and pieces of admin that throw in behind the scenes, I imagine they're breaking even on channels like mine, and it's only the really big channels that are making them any money anyway. So yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying I'm a little bit afraid they might keep raising the bar until I can't support myself doing this anymore. So I need to continue to diversify, and diversification has been the big word that I'm getting from all of the videos that I've been watching, and both from people within the Football Manager community. Loki Doki made a brilliant video on it a couple of days ago where he talked about the issue far better than I'd be able to, and made the point that that's why he's always streamed on Twitch, because I still stand by YouTube technologically is a better platform for streaming on than Twitch is. I think it's more stable. I think it has better features. I really like streaming on YouTube. But as he rightly said, it's putting all your eggs in one basket. If YouTube decide to demonetize a channel or withdraw a channel from the partner program, could they withdraw them from live streaming as part of the partner program? It would be a disaster for my business, for my family, if YouTube did something that stopped me being able to run my business here. So diversification is important. And it's not just within the Football Manager community that I'm hearing that. I like Boogie2988, is that his name? I watch a lot of his videos. He made a really good video that had a similar message. Philip DeFranco, watch his videos religiously. He made a video on the topic, same message. All these people that I respect, and Loki, all these people that I respect in the YouTube community on the whole are saying, if there's a way for you to diversify your portfolio of content, diversify as broadly as you can, because you never know when something might happen and you have to pivot on the fly. And for that reason, it seems sensible to take my live streams and put them on the platform that was built for live streams. That is, by and large, just about as good as YouTube for live streaming. It's where the majority of the people in the Football Manager streaming community hang out anyway. It's somewhere where I've been before. I'm already part of the affiliate program there, so I can go straight over there, pick up where I left off, and have access to all the same features I have here, like the ability to have what we call sponsors here, but subs over there, and the fancy emotes, and the ability to do donations, and basically the ability to pick the business side of streaming up from here, put it down over there, and it worked fine. I can export the videos in full and bring them over here. It will all look fairly seamless. The only difference for anyone is going to be I'm going to have to change my stream key in OBS, which, you know, that's nearly a minute's work. And the people who are watching the streams are going to have to type in a different URL or open up a different app on their phone. And hopefully for almost all of you, if not all of you, that won't be too troublesome. I apologise profusely to those of you who can't or won't use Twitch for whatever reason. And it's a repeat of the apologies I had to give when I came the other way, because there are people who didn't come with us from Twitch over to YouTube, but equally there are people who joined when we were on YouTube who weren't over on Twitch previously. And I hate having to shuffle around like this, and that's, some people have said, Kev, why don't you just use Mixer or this, that or the other? And I think one of the reasons why I would choose Twitch is because it's the big one, it's the obvious one, it's the one where I'm least likely to have to move again at any point. I've been live streaming 3 times a week since the summer, so we're looking at like 6 months of it now, and hopefully in 3 years time, when I'm still streaming 3 or 4 times a week, we'll look back on this period as, yeah, the first 6 months he was kind of trying out different platforms, deciding where his best fit was, but then he made Twitch his home, and look how much fun it is now. And I think the only one I can have full confidence in saying that about is Twitch. And an additional bonus, almost as if they're vultures devouring the corpse that YouTube created for themselves earlier in the week, Twitch have announced further features on their video on demand stuff this week as well. So it looks like they're very much trying to position themselves as a viable YouTube alternative. And I have no dog in this fight. I don't care what is the dominant content creation platform 5 years down the line, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitch, whether it's Facebook. The only thing that would make me care is if I was only on one of those platforms, or if there was one of those platforms I wasn't on. And at the moment, that's the situation I'm in. I have almost my entire audience is here on YouTube, and I have very little presence on Facebook. I have no presence at all on Twitch. I've made steps towards building up a Facebook presence with the group that we've got on there now, and using the page a little bit more, and a little bit more video content finding its way onto Facebook. And it's time we kept the diversification going and moved back to Twitch. So I know that's been a long-winded video that's a bit too serious for this channel, and very behind the scenes-y, makes me sound like a bit of a money-grabbing mercenary. And I guess you could say that's exactly what I am, and I'm not gonna pretend that money isn't a major motivating factor, but it's not a case of I want all the money in the world so I can buy golden hats. It's more, I took a massive gamble over the summer when I left a stable job to support my family doing this. And there is a minimum amount of money that I need to be earning every month, and at the moment I'm earning it. If any one of those income streams were to dry up or reduce, then I wouldn't be, and that would be problematic to say the least, and would ultimately lead to far less content being created. If you think back to the content that was on the channel when I was still working, there would be 1 video series and that was it. Now we have 2 video series and regular live streams, plus extra videos as well. So the content would reduce massively if I had to go back to work. So there are reasons for you lot as well. If you like having a lot of content, I need to be able to carry on paying my bills doing all this nonsense. So I'm going to stop going on now. I know this has been a little bit rambly, a lot a lot not very well structured, and I apologise for that, but I didn't want to script it out. I didn't want to edit it really. I've probably taken out some of the ums and coughs, but I didn't want it to seem really heavily produced and fake. I just wanted to sit here in front of the camera and give you my honest thoughts on what's happened this week and the reasons behind the decision I'm making. So it happens with immediate effect. We're going to be back over at twitch.tv/LollujoFM starting from this Sunday stream. I will produce a short video to come out on this channel at 9 o'clock, just as a prompt to tell people that the stream has moved over there. So anyone who usually checks at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night looking for a stream will know that it's over there. Keep an eye on my Twitter and you'll get the links and stuff come up at the time as well. So like I say, apologies if anyone's going to find this massively disruptive and annoying, but hopefully you can all see that there are genuine, well-meaning reasons behind it, because I want to be able to, I love doing this. Like I say, I'm earning less money now than I was a year ago, but I'm having so much more fun. This life is fantastic. I want to carry on being able to produce content, as much content as I possibly can. I want to be able to stream more often. I love doing this. I love this community that we're building, and I don't want to have to stop. It's not necessarily completely the end for YouTube live streaming either, although the actual regular streams, the Monday, Sunday, Thursday 9 PM streams, they're moving over to Twitch. There might be occasional ad hoc streams here on YouTube. I'm thinking possibly transfer windows. We did a video on them last weekend. It went down really well. I don't want to take YouTube series and do bits of them over on Twitch, because that then starts to become unfair. If you can watch part of Non-League to Legend here and part on Twitch, that's silly. So we'll just move Lollujo FC over to Twitch, but Non-League to Legend back in the borough will be staying here. So if I decide to live stream a transfer window or live stream a summer, then we'll do it here. And hopefully that means some of you still get to see me stream occasionally if you're not going to be going over to Twitch. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts. Don't try and convince me to change my mind, because I've agonised over this for like 3 days now and spent a 2-hour live stream last night talking to you all about it. My mind is made up. We're going back to Twitch. I wish it could be different, but alas, this is what we'll be doing, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.